Hello everybody, I'm here in Moscow as part of some meetings organized by the Munich Security Conference and the Korber Foundation, and we're only a couple of days away from the 870th anniversary of the city, which is going to be celebrated this Sunday here. And basically, during the meetings here, we're meeting with officials from the Foreign Ministry and from the Defense Ministry, civil society, the opposition, and we're trying to analyze current Russian foreign policy. And a couple of clear messages are emerging. One of them, and this is, I think, for me the most interesting, is this clear zero-sum game mentality where Russia's losses are the West's gains, and Russia abided by agreements after the end of the Cold War, and they pulled out troops from Eastern Europe, and they closed bases, military bases, and they also took out the nuclear weapons they had in some of these countries. And what they got in exchange, instead of respect and status, was 3 waves of expansion, NATO and EU expansion, to the point of NATO being right at their doorstep in the Baltics and in other places. And of course, for them, Ukraine was something that was unacceptable in this narrative because it ran against Russian interests. I have not been able to identify clearly why those interests were threatened by NATO or EU expansion, or why that zero-sum mentality took root in Russia. It is tragic because at one point there were debates in Europe and in other places of having a very special partnership between Russia and NATO, and possibly even Russia-EU membership. It was never widely supported in Russia, but it was at least part of the discussions that some people were having. And now that all of that is gone, and my assessment is that it is gone precisely because of this way of seeing the relationship between basically the West and the East. At the end of the day, there is a big tension here between the Eastern Russia and the Western and European Russia, which has been a tension that has played out throughout the country's history. As long as we keep on seeing things the way that are being seen here right now, and in such relative games way, we're going to have conflict for a while.